Desiree with theastrologyaddiction.com, and thank you so much for watching. Today I'm doing a reading on Bad Bunny's chart, and he is a basically, singer, songwriter, rapper from Puerto Rico. He was born on March 10th, 1994. He is really a superstar in Latin music, and he's broken a lot of barriers, I think. He had Drake on a song which was he requested to be sung only in Spanish. So I think that across the board, Bad Bunny is just coming out now as being more mainstream famous, but he has definitely been famous and been someone who people are like super fans of. He was born in Vega Baja, Puerto Rico. So I'll insert his chart now. He is a strong Piscean man, and I love, Pisces energy. So he has a Pisces sun, Pisces moon. His Mercury is Aquarius, his Venus is in Aries, Mars is Pisces, Jupiter in Scorpio, Saturn in Pisces. Now, someone who has that much Pisces in their chart, it would certainly make sense that he is pretty fluid. He paints his nails black. He doesn't have any fears of singing about topics that are a little bit on the, the fringe, or not really socially normal, I guess. He's not like a pop singer. He is not afraid to sing about bad things, sing about dangerous things, sexy things, and to kind of break those boundaries, especially through his cultural Latin world, and like speaking just solely Spanish and bringing that to popularity more so. So his Mars and his moon are actually conjunct pretty closely by 1 degree in Pisces. And from what I have seen about him, he is, somewhat aggressive or known for his sexuality and out there. And when you have your Mars conjunct your moon like that, it brings a rawness to you and a realness, and kind of cuts through that that Piscean like sweetness and that softness and fluidity. Mars kind of sharpens it back up, so it makes him more proud to be that way, and more aggressive in his need for freedom and in his need for self-expression and creativity. It drives him a little bit more. It makes it a little bit more strong, if you will. And especially because Saturn is there as well, it grounds that energy a lot. It brings it back down to earth. So he is, yes, very Piscean, creative, intuitive, imaginative, probably emotional. But having that Mars and Saturn there, especially Saturn, it brings it back to, how can I input all of this energy that I have and this emotion into something physical in the real world? How can I manifest that? So he's probably someone who is a very strong, manifester in his life. Things that he says he wants to happen, or that he wants to achieve, that he wants to get, he can do, quite easily. He can make those things happen for some reason, because he has that reality, brings it back down to earth. And his Mercury is in Aquarius too, so he is very smart. People with Mercury in Aquarius are, brilliant. They are innovators. They are not afraid to speak their mind or to do things that are uncommon, to stand out of a crowd. They don't actually like to be in like the norm. They want to be noticed for being different. They want to be noticed for being unique and weird and unusual. And they don't really even like people so much who are just fighting for attention, and who are socially just following the status quo. He's very his energy is mainly Pisces, Aquarian, Aries, and Scorpio, and that is all pretty like rebellious and intense, and not someone who just follows orders or takes note of what is popular or trendy. They want to make their own input into things. They want to forge their own way. And with his Aquarian Mercury, he's probably very insightful and someone who thinks on his own. He doesn't need opinions from a bunch of other people to come together and take people's feedback. He is probably pretty fixed on what he believes and what he thinks and how he thinks things should be done, and he sticks to it. And it's overall just, like I said, a brilliant placement. When you have your Mercury in Aquarius, you are usually very smart, especially since that is ruled by his Saturn in Pisces. It draws an even more creative and dynamic piece into all of that. So, you know, like I said, he is very emotional and passionate and strong, and at the same time, he takes things a little slower and cautiously because he is smart in that regard. He doesn't just jump into things without, you know, thinking through the consequences. At the same time, he doesn't really have a fear for things. He's not very fearful, and that would show also through his Venus in Aries, because when you have Aries placements, especially Venus, you're not super fearful. You have a love for adventure, you're passionate, you have a love for winning, for challenges, for competing, and you just aren't super fearful. Down the road later in life, you can, you know, grow anxieties and grow fear, but you're naturally just someone who is a fighter. You know, you are someone who goes for what you want. The things that you value are not so much tangible. You know, an Aries Venus doesn't value possessions. They don't value status. They don't value money per se. They want to just be the best, and they want to use their creativity to show people why they're the best. And you know, those are something that he really has within himself. His Jupiter in Scorpio and Pluto at 28 Scorpio, those are all trying to those Pisces placements. It's at 14 degrees, so it's really the closest to his sun, and it probably just, you know, makes his ego a little bit larger. You know, he's probably not one to shy away from things because he has that confidence from Jupiter. Now his Pluto at 28 Scorpio, that is more so in a square to his Mercury and coming to square his moon. So, you know, that can intensify his want to communicate darker things, to get to the bottom of things, to dig under the surface for the truth. And he wants to shine a light on those things. So he's probably someone who throughout his life is going to continuing, you know, his career where he is speaking about topics that are not socially, you know, acceptable. He doesn't care about his music being like rated like PG. He wants to go to those deeper places, and he wants to bring that to the surface and continue to break boundaries in that way and be raw and sexy and talk about the, you know, darker topics like that, because it's his Mercury, so it's his mind. He may even have struggles with his mental in a way where he kind of feels a darkness and a heaviness on him, and he probably gets a lot of that out through his art and his creativity. But his North Node is in Scorpio, and so he does, you know, have a pull towards materialistic tendencies and, you know, wanting to have money and wanting to, you know, accumulate material possessions, and it's not really within, it's not conducive to who he is. So he might have like a desire like to go shopping and to go and spend all this money and get diamond chains and cars and like, you know, the physical like senses, you know, go and get pleasures of the physical world, you know, women and things like that. But his real purpose is more to uncover the truth and to go towards, you know, a less of a materialistic place and more of a get to that real rawness that it's not too hard for him to do that because of his Pisces energy and his Jupiter in Scorpio. So he finds that to be kind of a intriguing and fun place. Most people's North Nodes are more of a fearful place and somewhere they don't want to go. But for him, I think he kind of has a little bit more fun, like with the danger. So he's okay with leaving behind his South Node in Taurus, and probably will more so as he matures. We'll learn to kind of probably not sing so, you know, not rap and sing so much about the material things, the women, the money, like all that, and continue to kind of go to that raw, real place with his art and kind of fulfill his purpose in that way. So thank you guys so much for watching. This was just a quick little reading on Bad Bunny, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would like to book a reading with me, my link is in the description box. Have a great day. Bye.